I'm fairly certain this isn't far off like the world record for your age. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So this video is literally one of the reasons why I wanted to start YouTube in the first place. I was like very excited to finally give recognition to how heavy I used to try and train at 16, 17 years old and go back on some PBs, warm-ups, lifts and stuff like that. So we've all been in that situation, and a lot of you are probably there now, and it's mainly the clients that I work with when they at least come in to start. Probably got some sort of routine going on in the gym. Like, it's no issue getting into the gym. Like, there's probably not too much gym anxiety, all that kind of stuff. Just need a bit of a kick, turning some screws, going in the right direction. But nutrition is just like, just haven't really thought about it. Tries to maybe eat a bit cleaner here and there, but it's just not really a priority. And obviously, I spent about 5 to 6 years in that phase, which is crazy, but you know, with lockdowns or whatever, I'll make that excuse. And these are some of the clips and PBs that I was hitting while I was doing it. And the reason I make this video is because, as well, at the time I was going to look to compete in powerlifting. Now, I had no interest in competing, but it's when someone came up to me in the gym and they basically said, "What are you taking?" And I was like, "What as in what?" And they were like, "Steroids." I was like, "Nothing." And they said, "How old are you?" I was 16. They were like, they thought I was lying. Like, I'm not taking the piss. They genuinely thought I was lying. And it's because of the numbers that I was deadlifting at the time and I was warming up with and just throwing around the gym. And they basically said, like, "Do you compete?" And I was like, no. They said they knew a bit about that background, and they were basically saying, like, "Well, I'm fairly certain this isn't far off like the world record for your age, your height," like very specific competition kind of style stuff. And at one point, I looked at the bench press record, and I could only find for like the Midlands, so it was obviously not very well regulated. And it was like 145 kg at the time for like an 18-year-old, and I was like I said, 16, 17. So my target then became that, and then I kind of stopped. So I'll show you if I managed to get all that in a second. But yeah, that was pretty much the routine I was in. So I thought I'd start off by actually just showing you the kind of lockdown transformation, or at least how it looked in images back then. So I've just saved a few from Snapchat memories, and this is the first one I found. So pretty soggy looking meal, not too different from what we consume now. Supermart on the side just to get some vitamins in, and it was actually just, I didn't have ketchup though, which is a surprise. Sweet potato, veg, chicken, and super malt. This is how I was looking. I think I was 16 here. So as you can see, it just kind of looks strong, really. There's no real areas which you could pick out and say, "Oh wow," like I wasn't ridiculously lean. My arms aren't like huge here. Like, it, you know, it was very just the shape of someone who looks like they want to just lift heavy stuff. Yeah, another one looking awful in the face and the hair, but I did not care at that point. This is another one. This was like a weekly occurrence. It was just like random school van, like American school bus or whatever, that would just park up on the beach and just sell burgers. Looking back, I don't know how anyone actually let their kids go and eat there, but just to grab stuff like that, they just give free hash browns. It was unreal. The saltiest, fattiest foods. Then just go hit a PB on it the next day. Yeah, so this is about 16, 17. So the shape was obviously still there. And the reason, I'll talk more in a minute, but the reason I got quite, obviously not saying lucky, but I was able to kind of not track or do much but still get in the shape is because it took about 6 years. So if I was eating, this would have, you know, gone a bit quicker, but it was a very long-term thing. And the reason why a lot of people, I wouldn't recommend trying to get in similar shape without any sort of conviction in what they're doing with training and nutrition is because you'll simply just, if you don't have that conviction, you just want to give up. The reason I didn't give up, despite maybe not seeing loads of progress early on, is because I was just around people who were doing it. So we wouldn't even think of the results. It was just a fun mindset, like lifting weight side of it. But then obviously results came. And this is why now if I cut, it's always a couple weeks away from me looking really good because I've built all these foundations from doing stuff like this. So yeah, obviously shape was good, not too far off what it is now. And also I was at that age where I was just hitting that growth spurt. As long as you're lifting and you're eating enough calories, you're going to grow. And genetically, I'm quite lean. But yeah, this is pretty much how the camera was. So that's like an overview of the shape we're in at like 16, 17. So now you can start to see if we go into the lifts. So let's get straight into that now. These are just a few that I found. Might have to pull up a few more. But yeah, starting off, they're going to be in a random order because I had to upload them to some private story to even be able to film it. It wouldn't let me save all of them. But this is first deadlifts in 2 months. So coming out of lockdown, training in the garage, had quite an advantage because no one else was training. And then 180 kg for 10. And this was moving quite nicely. This was, again, straight away just back from lockdown. There might be a few clips before this, actually. So let's go straight to the start. So this is in a better order. So before it went into like a crazy lockdown and it was just like kind of at home, you could still go out a little bit, probably weren't in college at this point. This is what my deadlift routine was. So it was literally, I would deadlift twice a week and just PB. I would just try and PB. So I'd just rip it off the floor. I'd just try and hit 200 for a few reps, whatever it is. So this is 140 kg warming up, I believe. Or it might even be for a couple reps. But this is how I'd do it. Belt on, chalk on the hands, breathe in at the top, and then just rip it off as fast as I could. And I'd literally just judge it on pure speed. So yeah, that was 140 kg. And that was literally how my routine looked. So it looks like I'll just rep in 140 this week. 180 here. I remember in the moment thinking that was slow. If I did that now, I think I would fucking die. Yeah, that's literally how it was. 200. Bit of a groggy one, that one. Went for 2. Got it. Might go for another one. Yeah, bounced it a little bit. Bit of a cheat rep. Yeah, didn't like that one. And then repped out 180 after just to finish it off. So yeah, this is how it was. It was squat, bench, and deadlift. Eat anything and everything. I just train like this. And at this point, this is when I was thinking, should I be competing? Because I wasn't prepping for any of this. So imagine if I did like a proper prep, got like a coach for squat, bench, and deadlift and everything. But I was literally just watch people on YouTube and then just go and copy them the next day. It's a good way to learn. Okay, 200 for 4 now, so getting into it a bit more. Surprised I got 4 after that first grinder. Yeah, 3. Didn't bounce this one, so this one counts. But it was mad. Obviously, you can imagine like at 16 doing this. I was getting quite a lot of looks in the gym of like, first of all, why the fuck are you lifting like that? But yeah, it was mad. And clean 200 the same day. So yeah, I was just all about going for speed for no reason. This is 225 kilos. Not bad form, to be honest. As long as my back was not bending too much, I didn't really care. Okay, so this is where we get into the bench, a bit more fun. 120 kg. So 3, 4. I'm pretty sure it's the first time I ever got it for 5. Yeah, 5. So a little bit of backstory on this one. This was before lockdown went into like no gyms and it went into everyone training at home in the garage. So this was what I was on, 120 for 5, and you can see they were quite struggled reps, fairly decent, but lucky I had a spot in the end. This is where I was at before the gyms closed. So you'll remember that for a couple minutes later for when the gyms open up again. Because I can see why people were coming up in the gym and saying, since when, like, what are you taking now, or whatever. Because the difference in numbers doesn't make sense. It's why I don't really post about it, because it's hard to really share and relate, to be honest. But yeah, this was a bit of a grinder. I might have actually got 6 or 7 here. Yes, this is what I mean. Got a bit of a spot at the end just to get that last one out. But as you can see as well, when I was doing this, I wasn't just hitting numbers. I was training like someone who was just like squirting juice through their eyeballs. Like I would do as heavy as I can squat, as heavy as I can bench, heavy as I can deadlift every other day. So bench, squat, deadlift. And then after that deadlift session, I'd just go have a whole hour and a half back session and arms. And then same with chest, same with legs. So this is another bit of deadlifting. Now this is funny because this is like how I'd warm up. So again, we're still before the gym's really shut here. Yeah, these clips are funny. So warming up, 60 kg. So literally just as quick as I humanly could rip it off the floor. 100 kg, 140 kg warm up. I remember it every time I wore this jacket, I would PP. I remember it would just fit in the right way to make me feel stronger. So I got 180 here. But I remember being really disappointed with that. You can see on my face. So these ones were like absolutely flying. I was like, oh my God, this is the day we're going to hit like 250 kg deadlift. And then it was literally just like, so I wasn't even wearing wraps. But the reason I wouldn't wear, when I say wraps, wrist wraps to wrap around the bars to get better grip, the reason I never wore those is because I couldn't be at the bottom of the bar for longer than a couple seconds because I'd just get out of breath because I'd have the belt on so tight. So yeah, another thing was pretty stupid. But 180. I was disappointed with that. I still am looking back here. I think I went in for another one just to try and get it clean to like reassure myself. Like I couldn't progress my weights mentally if I didn't absolutely rip it off the floor. I was like, no, I need to get it clean, just fatiguing myself even more. Then I got 200, so jacket's off now. I wasn't happy with that. Yeah, I put it straight down. Bear in mind, I got it for like 4 the week before. But then this is when we came out. So that was the last clip I had before lockdown had gone in the garage training sessions. So yeah, nice image to pause on there. Look fat in the face. But then yeah, this is when we came out of lockdown. So I wasn't even deadlifting in lockdown. So it doesn't make sense. You saw what I was doing there. 200 move for like one grinder, 180 fairly smooth. And then this is out of lockdown. First deadlifts in 2 months. So a bit more controlled, got the wraps on, done a bit of learning. Probably also just a bit worried for my back on the first day. And then just perfect form. 3, 4. I want to see what it looks like at the 10th rep because I don't remember this slowing down. I should have done like 20 here. But it just keeps moving. Like I just did not fatigue. My muscular, like cardiovascular side of it on the muscle was just always 10 out of 10. Like muscles never really got too exhausted. So this was at the last couple of reps and I was starting to feel it. But you got that same jacket on. And this was first time benching. So benching was like all I did in the garage through lockdown was pause reps. Now, what you're doing here is you're essentially putting a lot of stress on the muscle and you're putting it in a weaker environment than what it would be when you go to your normal lift. So I was pausing, and this is why I've never hit a plateau, because I was pausing and putting myself in a worse position. So when I do get the camera out and I want to film a PB, I'll just go back to touch and go, where I just hit it like a normal rep. Like you don't always have to pause with your reps. Obviously, it helped a lot with not getting injured as well. I don't know how I didn't get injured. Like, I can't explain that one. But yeah, 140 kg, smashed it for 2. Bearing in mind, I struggled with 120 for 5. I think I went for a third here, and I'd never seen the video of me failing it because I never wanted to watch it. I remember my back hurting. I clicked it, and I was like, oh my God, I just got back in the gym. And the next day, I went for 150, and you'll see that in a minute. But yeah, like, weird times, how I never got injured. And I think the night before this, I got my arms in that as well. Like, the definition at that point was mental. And I think before, the night before this, because this is around when I met my girlfriend, I think I was in like a hot tub and I literally had drank like 100 Coronas. Don't think I've even not drank really since that kind of time period. But yeah, then I think I cropped the third rep. Yeah, I wasn't going to put that on my story back in the day. Come on, but literally 2. I don't know why I went for a third, but this was the one. So this was probably the last time I've loaded up the bar and gone for a PB. I actually don't think I've gone for an actual PB on squat, bench or deadlift since then. Obviously progressive overloaded, gone for PB on like a dumbbell press and just the day-to-day, put a bit more plate loaded stuff in the machine, go a bit heavier. But since this day, I don't think I've gone heavy. Like I literally hit 150. Don't worry, not about to see a pec tear. Like it's just you'll see in a minute. It was clean, but hit this, deadlifted the 225 for a few, like I don't know if I ever got it for more than 1 rep, but I was doing 200 for like 4 or 5 reps. And then I don't know, then I kind of just went to college, went to uni, and I was training. I was still looking good, looking the same. Then I went to 2 gym jobs, and just at the previous video where I spoke about what happened with my life, that's when that kicked in, and now I'm here watching it. So I want to get back into it because I just think it's entertaining as hell to watch. I am going, as I say, to Vegas and LA in April, and those gyms are where I got inspired to do this, like watching the people in those gyms. So might have to like a little bit of a throwback session, but I'm not even going to near match this. And I had the same spot every day, so they knew how I lifted. So yeah, it's just one of them ones I picked my time in. But anyway, let's watch this from the start. 150, the day after 140, and literally just cleared it. I should have gone for another one, but it's crazy. Like looking at this now, I remember like I did 140 for 2. The next day I was like, I'm fired up. Like, you know, I might give myself 1 day rest with a few more Coronas, but I just remember like, if I'm ever going to get it, I'm going to get it now. Like I went to bed and I watched a video of people training, and it was such an unrealistic target to think. At the time, my PB was 140. Never tried 142.5, never tried 145, 147. I just 140. And as you know, if it's your 1 rep max or just your max in general, imagine adding 10 kg on top of that. So it was 140 for 2. And the second was a grinder, and I completely failed the 3rd rep. So I was like, 150, I really want to hit it. I don't care about hitting 145. I'd rather just try 150, fail. Okay, well, I've hit 140. Let me crack on with some normal bodybuilding training for the next few years. But I literally was just like, yeah, if I'm not going to hit 150, I don't give a shit about hitting 145 kg. So I went in there next day, watched a few videos. I told a few people on Snapchat at the time, I was like, I'm hitting 150 tomorrow. And they're like, mate, you hit 140 like yesterday, barely for 2. I'd probably just, give it a week away from benching. And yeah, I just went in there. And I remember at this point, I had no nerves. I just knew I was going to get it. And mate, that jacket, I'm telling you, I need to get that back out. But I literally held it here and I was like, oh my God, this feels light. Like, I've got this. And then, yeah, just went down. Pretty controlled rep as well. Like, I'll be honest, I was controlling it because it was fucking heavy, which obviously contradicts what I just said. But I knew it was heavy in my mind. I was like, do not mess around with this weight. And I just said to him, like, if I'm struggling, just take it. Because if I'm pushing 150 and it's not moving, that is the prime position to pull something, even if you're using the bar, let alone that much. So, yeah, 150, controlled, no pause, obviously. And then, yeah, that was it. And there's a few more here, 140 for free. This was, so I was still, I was still training heavy, but there's no PBs, but... So I did hit 140 for free in the end, actually. I forgot about that one. Little assistance at the end, and 130 for 6. I remember when I posted this, a few people like, since fucking when, as you see, the reps aren't full, but cut me some slack. Yeah, 130 for 6, that's probably more impressive than 150. Like, and this is what I wanted to compare. You remember when I did 120 for 5 and struggled? Just watch this. So this is from when lockdown went in to training at home and when it went out, and this was literally the difference in that time. So I don't know how many I'm on at this point. Must have been like 8, 9, and now 10. Yeah, so that is literally what I was doing in lockdown. That is how I was training. That is pretty much how I built the foundations of where I'm at now. I actually weirdly sit here saying this. I probably wouldn't recommend doing the same thing. I don't know how I didn't get injured. I don't know how I'm even alive. And yeah, it was very fun though. I'll say that for free. It was very fun. I do miss it a little bit. Watching them clips, you get in your head like, oh, was I in better shape then? Just lifting heavy. And some things genetically work with people differently. But even with my hamstrings now and just being a few years older than what it was then, like I said, I think I would be in bits right now. And it's probably a good thing that I slowed down on that. But I think if I had not gone to uni, I'd probably got like a normal job around here and stayed in the same gym, I'd probably still be doing that. And there was a part of me in my mind which was like, if I really pushed it and went down that route of just heavy, realistically, like, I'm natural as well. Like, what could I have actually ever lifted? And I'll probably always question that. But then there's a part of me which is like, you can still go and find out. But I don't know, as I say, it's very different times. The gyms, like kind of scenarios and stuff was just in a different place. And even in this area, that gym's no longer there. And I don't know, it was a big warehouse, metal plates, chalk, it just worked. But you can't go and do that in a pure gym nowadays. So yeah, I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but mentally it definitely kills the drive to do that. So, and I was spending like hours and hours in the gym, but hopefully you enjoyed that one. I definitely did. And as I say, in Vegas and LA, I'm going to go to these gyms and see. I mean, maybe just do a video. Maybe the next video coming up is, can I beat my 16-year-old world records? So yeah, look out for that one. I hope you enjoyed. Don't try that at home, and see you in the next one.